Yo, peep these patch notes.
There's a huge rumor out there about Ghost Recon. And actually,
Oh,
I'm very excited about this. I did not play what was it?
Breakpoint?
Breakpoint.
Yeah.
I did
Because nobody played
Nobody
Breakpoint
played
because
yeah.
it was hot
It
garbage.
was ass.
I played Wildlands. Enjoyed Wildlands. Wildlands was actually really
I
fun.
played the demo for Wildlands and had a decent time with it. Yeah.
I actually still to this day tell people all the time, like, hey, like when it's on sale, you can get it dirt cheap. Go pick it up. It is a blast. 4-player co-op, jumping in, just
Yeah.
kind of roaming around and blowing shit up and being a ghost. In that game, it was a really well done kind of open world game. Obviously, Breakpoint. Some people loved it, some people did not. Obviously, there was quite a bit of pay to win elements to it. But
and NFTs.
And there were.
Yeah, that was Ubisoft. Ubisoft's
first
NFT launch was a
NFTs, like their armors and shit.
Yeah, it was a serial numbered like armor piece.
Oh, did not know that. Well, okay. Well, there you go. But there are new leaks. Obviously, this is pretty heavily confirmed, but obviously, again, there's still rumors. But the rumor is right now that the game will launch in 2025 or 2026. The whole thing about this game specifically is that it is going to be a little bit more of it is going to be open world, so they are going to be still going down that route, but you're going to be a little bit more grounded in today's future versus kind of in the past they had gone super futuristic and then they come back and then they would go back into futuristic, and like even like Breakpoint had like drones and all this other kind of stuff. This one's staying very kind of more grounded, so by supposedly from other from leaks. But the big thing here is that they are taking this in a more like not full-blown Arma style, but they are going more tactical, more sim esque. It's described to be more gritty, more realistic, but have some of the gameplay elements of Modern Warfare where you can just if you take the take the time to master the whole systems and all of the different elements that they have, you'll get a far better experience. But you can just jump in and kind of dick around with your buddies and friends and have a good time. I saw some of the leaked footage, quote on with air quotes.
You disgust me.
Why?
Watching leaked footage of unfinished
How
products.
dare you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't help it. It was just put in front of my face. What am I supposed to do? Not look at it? So
close your eyes and go repent for your sins.
Okay, sure. I will. I'm sorry. You want me to do that right now, sir? It is so it looks good. I mean, obviously it's still early in development, but it looks good. I mean, I don't know. You guys excited about Ghost Recon? Yes, no, maybe.
They have a lot of making up to do after the Breakpoint stuff. Wildlands was okay. I actually didn't mind Wildlands too much from what I did play, but they kind of pissed on the corpse of Ghost Recon when it came to Breakpoint, and I think they need to earn the community.
They've been pissing on the corpse of Ghost Recon for a long time. Breakpoint was just the most recent one.
Yeah, but at least Wildlands was like a respectable open world attempt.
Yeah, I mean, I played through Wildlands quite a bit. It was enjoyable to just like dick around in open world with your buddies. It felt more like shit. Now I'm gonna forget the name of the. You remember that old video game where it was centered in like South Africa or something like that, and you had like a grappling hook that you could like hook onto helicopters and shit.
Just Cause?
Just Cause?
Yeah, Just Cause. It felt like Just Cause in a lot of instances where it was just like there wasn't really a definitive like direction where you needed to go.
It was just sandbox for you.
Yeah, it was more like just like a tech demo of what they could do with open world.
Dude, I don't know, man. You saying that they've been shitting on Ghost Recon kind of hurts. One, let me just say one thing, right? Like so you want to know where my disdain or dislike for story games came from, right? It came from here. It came from Ghost Recon Island Thunder. I remember the very first time booting it up, getting an Xbox, getting Xbox Live, and sitting down and being like, oh my God, I like, obviously I had played with, I'd played many MMOs and things like that, but like on a console, very easy, not having to hear my, family bitch and moan because I'm taking up the computer. This was it. Like, I was like, I'm hooked. I was like, multiplayer forever. Like, fuck anything single player and story. This is it. But like, dude, like, okay, so you had Breakpoint, you had, which we said is bad. We had Wildlands. If we take out any of the bullshit mobile games, you had Ghost Recon Future Warfare, or Future Soldier. That was a banger. You had Ghost Recon, just the reboot, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, again, another banger. You had Advanced Warfighter, a banger. Advanced Warfighter 2, banger. Tom Clancy's 2, Summit Strike, banger. Ghost Recon 2, banger. And and Jungle Storm and Island Thunder, not including just the other ones. Like, what are you talking about? They've been shitting on it. Like, there's been one bad game, 2 at most.
I think by pissing on his name, we're more talking about the fact that they've gone away from the original idea of Ghost Recon with like Ghost Recon, with their recent stuff with like what's the one from the weird one that branched off from oh fuck.
Come on, Splinter Cell?
No, the first person shooter that Bill plays all the time. I always forget the fucking name of it. Siege, yeah, the weird branch off that they branched off from Siege that was like the
Team
zombie
Rainbow
one or whatever.
Oh, Extraction.
Extraction was a big one that everybody was just kind of like, why the fuck did they do that? It was literally just a game that they released with that name to make money. Essentially, it was a fucking mod.
I mean, yeah,
whatever you want to call it.
I'm not gonna say that that's
what we're talking
shit on
about
Tom Clancy.
When it comes to like they're just adding the Tom Clancy name onto games to basically get the notoriety of Tom Clancy games.
No, I don't disagree. About. I mean, yes, I will secede that, like, old school Splinter Cell's amazing, right? We all know my love hatred and fucking somehow Bill, I swear he Jedi mind tricked, put something in my drink, somehow made me fall in love with fucking Siege. Don't get it, don't understand it, still don't know. It's still installed on my system. But I think that the older Rainbows were better. Love the old Splinter 100%. Cells. Like, so yes, I do agree there.
Nobody's arguing with you on that.
Shitting on Tom Clancy, but and I do agree they have to make up here. And like, they're talking about this being more like Ready or Not, which is that's smart. Like, again, go down this like more like
I don't know how you can do Ready or Not.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna happen. Now. Yeah,
especially a third person open world setting.
I don't know. I mean, that's again, these are just the kind
of as somebody that has put a lot of time into Ready or Not, they don't have the ability to do that.
I mean, they could. Like,
they could, but will they? Ubisoft? No.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
you've not played Ready or Not. Like, I've played a little bit.
No,
I haven't played the recent shit.
I own it.
It's great. It's amazing. Like, they've put a lot of work into that game. I just don't think that Ubisoft has it in them to do that. That's my opinion. Obviously, I'm foretelling right now that this will be nowhere near that if that's what they're shooting for. But I hope so. I hope it is, because that'd be great. Going back to the old Tom Clancy games would be fucking amazing, because I agree with you. I loved all those games. I loved fucking the old Ghost Recon games. I loved the old Rainbow Six games, right? Go back to that. Not what we have now. Like,
you know what honestly too, I really miss, and I hope they do bring back in this, is a comparable good tactical third person shooter, like military style shooter, because I remember Ghost Recon days. Those multiplayer games were amazing. Like, it felt good. I don't know, but it reminded, like, SOCOM. Can we please get a fucking SOCOM, like another SOCOM?
Would be great.
Like, that is actually good. Like, I know there's been rumblings about SOCOM or whatever else. Like Ubisoft. I don't want a quadruple A game. I don't want a quadruple A game. Don't get me quadruple A.
But that's what I'm trying to say is, like, I really don't think that, like, in Ubisoft's hands anymore, we're ever going to get that kind of an experience anymore.
God, can somebody? No,
I just don't think that Ubisoft has it in them anymore. Like, I really
don't need anybody to buy Ubisoft. I just need people.
I'm glad
buy the Tom Clancy names, and like,
I'm glad to see the stuff that they're doing with Siege is coming out so well, because I really don't have any faith in Ubisoft anymore after the shit that they've put out recently. So it's
Dude,
I'm glad at least Siege is doing well.
They're still
Yeah.
standing by fucking Skull and Bones. They are still standing by that
well,
one.
you know,
They're too deep at this point.
yeah,
Wow.
I don't think that they can not stand by it. They've got too much writing on it, and I'm pretty sure that the whole bullshit that they put in where they had to like get grants from the government and everything like that from I can't remember where it was that they were developing it, but they took grants out of the government. I think that they have to like push that as much as they can.
They took grants out of the government to fucking
Yeah,
make-
well, they
Skull and
essentially the thing is like
Ugh.
they agreed to do development in, I can't remember what country it was, but in a specific country they did a lot of the development in it, and I could be blowing smoke. I'm pretty sure that I read this at some point. They basically took a lot of like tax deductions for developing in that specific area. And that's why they had such a bad development hell, was like they had to do that, and then they had a lot of issues with the actual gameplay. They had a lot of issues. It went into development hell for a long time, everything like that. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I hope Ghost Recon can make a comeback. I would love for it to make.
it
a
would be
comeback.
nice.
Again,
I mean, if they could just not do what they did in Breakpoint and just do what they did in Wildlands with like what they wanted to do in Breakpoint without the fucking NFTs and the pay to win, yeah. Like,
oh,
that'd
I'm
be
sorry.
cool.
This
Like-
is actually they're not going. I read this wrong. So let me stand corrected. They're not going third person. They're switching to first person. So this game
Yeah,
was supposedly
that'd
be a
be.
first
I mean,
person
that would be cool.
perspective.
I'd be okay with
not,
that,
Not
man.
third
Like,
person. So I stand corrected.
I'd be fine with that. Like if they can do it well, like if they can do it like Siege, and if they can do a decent like tactical gameplay in first person with an open
See,
world.
I'm almost less
That'd be
turned off
great.
though. I almost like don't want. I like Ghost Recon to me was always that third person game. So like moving it into a first person
Yeah.
perspective, I'm just kind of like, I got enough first person games. Like I want my third person shooter. I don't know.
What about a story game?
No, fuck that. They put a story in this. I'm out.
I'm still of the opinion that like if they can do it well and they can like bring back the open world of Breakpoint, or not a Breakpoint, but Wildlands, but also give you like more of like a tailored experience rather than just being like, hey, go in the fucking world and do whatever, you know? Because that was my big, and I'm a fan of open world games, and I didn't like that. Like it was almost too much, you know. It was such a large map, and you didn't really have any real direction. So it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thanks all for tuning in to the Patch Notes. And if you enjoyed and want to see more, you can catch us live every Thursday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, or catch us after the fact at anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. See you next time.